Hey, folks, it's Dave back here in Studio B and a little late night chat here on a Tuesday night. So my vacation is over. I usually work, as you know, Monday and Tuesday nights, but I took some time off to get my head together after all the craziness and give me a chance to plan the Dtocon with Mike a little bit more. And so I took about a week off. I didn't get the full week, but I didn't know because I started to get work yesterday, which was Monday, and it's like, oh, I got to start dealing with it. So I chipped away at it a little bit, and then today I put in a few hours. So it's like, well, vacation's over, I guess. But I did get to play a lot, and I did get to talk to you guys quite a bit, and got to tackle a lot of different games and some of the products that get going on, and had a lot of fun, especially that payoff pitch 76 season with the Red Sox. That's been fun. Enjoyed that. I also got APA baseball, back on the channel a little bit more. I still haven't got back to the Master game. That's the one I haven't got yet. I need to relearn that because I got it and I was doing okay with it, but when I went back and read the directions, there was a lot that I still wasn't getting right. So as Barbara comes by and John comes by, thanks for coming by. And so so I will get back to that, but I was talking to Ron today about that. I said, Ron, it says the basic game for APA, it is such a great late night go-to game. Like when you want to play something, you don't want a ton of setup. You just want to play and not have to really, like I say, I'm kind of tired right now, so I wouldn't be playing a thinking man's game like APA Master or anything like that. Even sometimes at late at night payoff pitch, I can get tired and make mistakes. But that APA Basic, that is just such a great go-to game, Parallel League comes by. Hi, Parallel League. And the Leafs, they win again, huh? Did they win or win again? I forget. What are they playing? Ottawa? I need to look at that right now. I meant to have that all ready to go, and I didn't. Again, I'll tell you what I've been doing today because I did have most of the day off, not the whole day. So we got Panthers Lightning. Oh, Panthers crushing the Lightning, and Hurricanes are 2-0 and the Leafs are 2-0. Okay. And what was that score again? 3-2 and overtime. That must have been a good one. Yeah, double overtime. Nice for one of the series that Cutter's watching. So anyway, so vacation's over. But now, though, I only got a couple more weeks of my crazy Thursday nights, and then I'm going to be taking some time off from that. So now I'll be back to my normal schedule that I was doing, back in, September. So it's going to be kind of weird to see how I react to my new schedule. That being said, we're hopefully getting back to a normal broadcast schedule. We recorded today, so the new show went out today. We're talking about how do we explain our gaming passion? Like when people talk about, when you talk to people outside the community, and it's just like, so what do you do for fun? Man, I was playing Tony Esposito last night. I was playing Reggie Jackson, How do you explain that to people? So we're talking about that today in the show. It's always a fun topic to try to figure that out, So, but the new show's up today, so go check it out, if you will. David C. comes by. Yeah, we hope everyone's doing okay. And Mr. Jeff, thanks for coming by. So a couple things I want to talk about here. D2D-Con, okay? Digital to Dice Con 2025 is less than a month away. And Mike and I are wrapping up the final details. Oh, by the way, we put in the order for hats and shirts, so he needed, 3 or 4 weeks lead time. So if you wanted a hat or a shirt, it's kind of too late. I can ask him about, maybe printing them afterwards and shipping them out if we want to. But that was kind of a just if you want one, we'll make some for you type of thing. It was just kind of a souvenir type of thing. It really was. And so that's coming up. We're still trying to nail down the lunch thing, So we're trying to figure out which restaurant we're going to try to order from in the whole bit. Breakfast and dinner, again, they have it at the place. I'm not too concerned about breakfast and dinner because there will be food there. But during the day, I don't think the restaurant's open. So we'll have to find a place to get everybody food. There is a Dunkin' Donuts right across the street. In worst case, if you just want to grab a bagel sandwich or something like that. But sometimes you want something a little bit more substantial for lunch. We added more guests So we have a lot of people coming to show off their games. It's going to be great. And I really want to sit down and talk to some of these people that made the games. I really do. I want to sit down and say, hey, what was your thought process, and show me how you play. Because, you play the games, you read the directions, and you watch people on YouTube and the whole bit. But still, when you sit down with the guy that made the game or the girl that made the game, it's still way better, because it's exactly right. It's always right, because they wrote the rules. They know what they're talking about. When they play it, it's right. So you don't have to worry about second guessing yourself like I always do. That's just what I always do. As Clay comes by, hi Clay, looking forward to seeing you there. I'm putting together my I'm going to Play.con this year, and that's another thing I'll talk about in a minute. And so I'm putting together my speech of how I made the transformation from video games over to tabletop games. And I'm pretty sure that I met you in 2010 in PAX East in Boston, which the timeline doesn't really line up with me, because you guys gave me a copy of Football Mogul and Baseball Mogul. And I remember coming home and trying it. And then I didn't play it for a while, for several years, because I wasn't into that. Then I came back to it. And I don't know if that timeline works, or if I saw you at a different play, but I'm pretty sure it was the PAX East. I'm pretty sure it was the first PAX East. And so I'm trying to get my timeline together. Again, as I get older, things, they just kind of mesh together. So I could be screwed up the years, but I'm pretty sure that, the Football Mogul was the first sports sim game I really kind of played, and then went back to that again years later. So I wanted to conclude that in my story, and I'm pretty sure that was correct. If I'm not, well, then I'm off by a couple years. But okay, so you were also at PAX East in 2012 and or 13. I don't remember which one you get. You were giving everybody like these little cards or whatever it was. This is, go to our Facebook page, and there's a link to download. I think it was last year's version of the game. So whatever year that was. So if that was 2010, if you guys had a 2009 version of the game, then that timeline would work. If not, then it would have been a couple years later. But I know I come home and I downloaded the older version of the game. And you guys were also playing a football game on a tabletop. And I don't know what football game that was. I think it was something you guys were working on, because I don't think it was app or a strat, but it was some kind of a tabletop card football game. It might have not been like NFL football or college. It might have been a kind of a hybrid type of game of something or other. But yeah, so it was somewhere between 2010 and 2013 that I was at your table, and ended up picking up the Mogul games, and I still have the Mogul games. I still play them. I was most recently playing the 93 Oilers? It was the season after they lost that big game to Buffalo in the playoffs. So I was playing them to see how they would respond in my replay. Kind of like what I'm doing with the 76 Red Sox, how they're going to respond after losing the World Series. So how's Houston going to do? And they're doing okay. I played a couple of games of that season. They're not doing terrible, but just kind of, I don't think they were as good as a team in 93. I don't think. I can actually, let me check on that right now before I go and say something I'm going to regret. So if I go to 1993, yeah, Houston won the division that year. Yep, they won the division, and they got bounced out by Kansas City. That's what happened the next year. So they responded by winning the division, going 12-4. Is what it was. And Clay's, and the Mike in the truck comes by. Hi, Mike. Hope you're doing okay. And 93 was great. Yeah. Buddy ball defense. Yeah. He says it's a great game in his honest opinion, but it's a head-to-head game with no solo mode, so it hasn't got much traction in the community. Now, okay, so getting back to some of my notes here. So we got some guests coming, more guests added to Digital to Dice Con. Just go digitaltodicecon.com, go to special guests on that page there, and that'll show you, who he added. Unfortunately, when I was going over. I was going over all the guests. I got a hold of every guest and I was talking to them about, who would want a table and who doesn't need a table because I don't know if we're going to have room for all the tables. So if we got 13 people looking for tables, that's a lot of tables. So, but they are 8-foot tables. So in worst case, I think we might double up a couple guys on a table if need be, if they don't need the full 8 feet, which I don't think you will need the whole 8 feet. I don't think. But we'll do the best we can to set that up. But as I was going through, I did have Grant Fines from 49 football and 49 hockey said that he couldn't make it. He had a conflict that come up, so he couldn't make it. So that was bumming. I was really looking forward to meeting Grant and having him show me his hockey game face to face, because I wanted to learn that. But we're going to do that over the internet at some point. Well, he'll come on and he'll go over his game with me on camera. So we'll kind of do it virtually in that case. But we did add a couple other people. You just have to go check out that list. So it's going to be a fun time. I can't wait to talk to different people. It's going to be a busy day, because there's a lot of people coming in, a lot of people I haven't met or haven't seen in a while. So it's going to be a lot of meet and greet. Hopefully we'll get a lot of that done on Friday. When I get in on Friday afternoon, we'll get some meet and greets going. And then on Saturday, we can kind of maybe buckle down and get some gaming going and check out new games and check out games you've never seen before. We have a couple of people showing up with some fairly new games. We have some people rolling out some fairly new items as well here at the con. So there's going to be a few new things here. I still don't know. I was hoping to unveil a game, not my game, but someone else who can't come. I was hoping to unveil their game, and I need to talk to them to see if we're still going to do that or not. They might have to call in remotely and kind of walk us through it a little bit. It wasn't a very difficult game, and it was very fun, the beta I was playing. So we'll see if that's going to come to fruition or not. But so we got some great guests coming, and again, that's in a few weeks, so it should be fun. And you still can get tickets. So the deal is now is that we're within the 30 days, so we can't offer any refunds because we have to commit to the room. So we are committed to this, so it's going to happen. So if you still wanted to wait till the last minute and grab tickets, or even, maybe even at the door or something like that, that can still be a possibility because we just need to make sure we had enough to pay for the room, and we're pretty much right at that now. So we should be pretty safe with that. So we're going forward with it is what I'm trying to get at. So yes, looking forward to the guests. Looking forward to all that stuff. So again, the shirts and hats. For Digital Dtocon, you can't get those. You can still go to Cafe Press and search Digital to Dice if you want a standard T-shirt. So they're available hats and T-shirts and mugs and a few other things. They have these great deals. They had like a 50% off deal or a 30% off deal, and I grabbed myself a couple of Digital to Dice mugs. They were great. I grabbed a red one and a black one. The inside was red and the inside was black, and they just match up so nice with the colors of the logo. I was like, that's kind of neat. The wife broke one. Yeah, I had it on the counter. I heard a smash. I go upstairs, and there's the mug in the trash. So I had to order another one, but they were pretty good. What game should I bring? That's another question. Because I'm going to be local from Connecticut, I'm only a couple hours away. I can pack my truck with games. Now, I don't want to bring 100 games, but I do have some games that I do want to bring and that I can either show or play or show how I play or, answer questions or something like that. I don't know if I'm really going to bring the app of football. That's kind of a bigger one. It takes a long time, but I might bring a couple of teams if people want to just see how I play the game, if you will. So I might do that. But if there's something that you've seen here on the channel that you want me to bring, just let me know, and I'll see if I can throw it in the truck and we can sit down. I have a couple of non-sports games I'm going to bring that could be kind of fun to play with, 3 or 4 people or whatever. Just kind of break up the monotony of the sports games there. Trying to think. I know Dave Little's bringing some wrestling, so that's going to be fun. So I was going to bring some hockey because I wanted to show him some hockey and see if he likes any of the hockey games I have. Yes, I am bringing that. I have a couple of... I am bringing that and at least one other really old game. Okay, I'm not going to say which one it is, but they're simple to play. They're really simple. So I'm thinking about bringing them. Yep. I'm thinking about bringing that. I think the football game is really old, too. What's it called? Was it Fantastic Football? Exciting Football or something? It's a really weird name, and it's a really weird game. It doesn't even talk about timing. There's no, timing in the game. It's so old. It's just... So I'll bring that, and we can play that. I'll bring that to Canton too, so Jeff can see that. I do have a couple things I'll bring for the for sale or the for swap table. I have a couple of seasons of some things that somehow I got duplicates of, so I will bring those and see if anybody would like to swap. So I have a couple things for the table. But yeah, if there's anything in particular you want me to bring, let me know and I'll see if I can bring it, and we can either play it or I can show it to you or whatever you want to do. Okay, now so what I did today was kind of fun. Is let me talk about Play.con real quick before I get to something else. So Keith just sent out an email talking about Play.com that's coming up in June, so that'll be a month after Digital to Dice Con. And he was talking about rides from the airport to the hotel, and that's the one thing that's stressing me out right now. And I have dreams about it. I think I told you that. I have dreams that I lose my my ticket and I can't get on the plane, or I don't get to the airport in time. So I'm still stressing out about that. Now, Mike Canestrari says he's going to have a car, and SD Patrick said he might have a car. So I'm kind of hoping I can, hook up with one of them at the airport and they can get me to the hotel. Either that, I guess I could take an Uber, but I am a little stressed out. I'm coming in Thursday morning. I think I should be there, around 10 a.m. on Thursday morning. So I'm coming in, I'm leaving Boston 6 or 7-ish. And then with the time change, I think that puts me in there about 9 or 10. And then I think I'm jetting out on Sunday between 12 and 1. So I need a morning ride to the airport somehow. So that's the one I'm most stressed out about, is like just making sure I'm on the plane and come home. Again, I haven't flown in a long time, so the anxiety is super high right now, but I am going to try to force myself to get on that plane and go out to play and see everybody. So, but I am still, a little concerned that something's going to happen. Oh, I can't get to the airport, Dave, and now what do I do? And, what if I can't get an Uber there? And there I am in no man's land, trying to figure it out. So I have some anxiety going for that trip. The Connecticut trips, again, I'm in my car. When we go to Ohio, I'm in my, we're in the car. And it's just, you don't have to worry about tickets and getting to airports and stuff like that. So I am kind of, so if you're going to play and you happen to be there, and you get any suggestions for me, or, if somebody says, I'll be going at the same time, maybe we can hook up at, whatever it is, let me know. I'm coming in Thursday morning around 10, I think, in the Colorado, and then leaving, I think it's around noon or 1 on Sunday. So that's kind of my time frame for coming and going. I think the email said to let him know, so I got to get my exact times, and I'll put that in and see if Keith has anybody at that time that I could hook up with or whatever. So yeah, so the play rides are kind of a big thing for me. So I kind of went back to my roots, because you see me, I've been playing a lot of baseball here, having some fun. But I ended up going back and I picked up that Skyrim adventure game that I talked about. Probably still my favorite game of all time on the consoles, non-sports. And it was like $40, and I was waiting for it to go on sale. And I was out with a buddy of mine for dinner, and he goes, "Try this site here. They have Steam codes that are, really cheap." So I went on there, and they had Skyrim for like $8 instead of 40. I was like, "What is this? $8?" And so he says it's a legit site. I use it all the time. So okay, so I went there and I put it in the cart and I bought it and I got a code and I got the $40 game for like between $8 and $9, 78% off. I was like, holy cow! So I've been playing that. That's been fun. That's a game I put in hundreds of hours over the last 15 years, and I just really enjoy it. And then what ends up happening is the company had put out a game before that called Oblivion, which was okay. I never finished that one. I just didn't like it as much as Skyrim. Skyrim, I was so good. They just today they dropped a remastered edition of this Oblivion game, and I was like, wow, let me check it out. So everyone was talking about it for the last week, and then they were playing it today, and it just was so good, and it looked so good, and then people just raving about it. So I got it. It took 3 hours to download. It was a huge file on Steam, but I finally got it, and I've been playing it tonight. I Played about 3 hours tonight. That's why I didn't get any baseball in tonight or any hockey. And it's really fun. It's really fun. The graphics are unbelievable. It's like they redid this with a, I don't know what they did, but this was a 2006 game, so it's 19 years old, and they just redid it, and it is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. And it's fun. I still like Skyrim better. I will say that. I just like the mechanics of it. I like how it does things. But this Oblivion game was fun, and it was just the graphics were so good, and everybody looks good, and just it was so smooth. And my computer, the fan was spinning trying to keep up, because it just my computer never does anything like that. But this game was so new and so full of high texture graphics, I guess, that it was just the fans were going the whole time. But it worked. I guess it worked. So I had fun with that. So that's what I've been doing, is kind of playing some of my old video games. They're just chilling out and walking around and going into dungeons, and it's just fun. I don't think I'm going to stream any of it. Maybe the Skyrim, maybe, but the Oblivion, it's taken up so much processing power that I don't think I could run a streaming software on top of that, unless there was a way to do it within Steam, but I don't think so. So I don't think I'm going to stream it. And besides, it's boring. It really is. Watching me play those games, I just take my time, and I listen to everybody, and I read everything, and it's very boring. So you won't see that here on the channel much at all. Maybe some Skyrim. If I get into a dragon fight, I might do that. But for the most part, yeah, you won't see that. I'll just kind of keep up with my normal stuff. But it has been fun. Let me tell you, it has been really, really fun going back and playing these older games. It's just a nice change of pace while I was on this vacation here. Bernie comes by. Bernie, we were talking about you on the show today, by the way. Talking about you were the one to come up with that list of games, baseball games, how many baseball games there were. And that's growing now. That's got to be up over 100 now, because there's been a couple more games that have come out in the last few months. So Alan comes by and he says, on our last few plane trips on vacation, I have given up on rental cars and Uber to and from airports. I've given up on rental cars. Oh, and Uber to and from airports works really well and makes things very easy. If you don't get a ride, Uber will get you there. Okay. Okay, good. I'm hoping that's the case. Again, getting this, once I land, I get all day to get to the hotel, but I need to be on that plane Sunday morning, and that's the one that I'm sweating out. Again, I have dreams about that I can't find my ticket or my whatever it's called, the boarding pass. I'm like, where is it? I can't find it. I still hope I did everything right. I got some codes here, and actually I must have, because I picked my seats on the flight, because I was able to go online to where I bought them from and pick my seats. I was like, okay, so hopefully I did everything right, and we will be on the plane and get there. So that is that. So yeah, so there's a few things just kind of wanted to talk to you guys about. Now just kind of getting back to some gaming things. For some reason, I had the itch to look into APA soccer. I am not a soccer fan. Just not my thing. Okay? I'm the Major Four. I like the Major Four. The hockey, baseball, football, and a little bit of basketball. Soccer and anything else like that has never cracked into my sporting wheelhouse whatsoever. I just, and I know people love it, and they have the strategy and the whole bit. For me, it's never been my thing. I played it, and I don't mind playing it, but I just find that watching it is really difficult. Now, when you have the World Cups and stuff like that, and 80 million people are watching it, and it's all intense, that's a little different. The interest level is like super high with something like that, so I could watch it, but couldn't really get into soccer. But I was interested in APA soccer, and I went on to YouTube and I was watching people play it. I don't know. I was watching some videos, and some of it looked interesting, because it's APA. I love the APA games, and then some of it was just like, well, I just not, it's a lot of, now the ball's in this zone, and now it's in this zone, and now it's in this zone, and now it's in this zone, and I was just like, yeah, that's kind of how soccer is, right? It's all about winning the little battles on the field of the pitch. I think it's called the pitch, right? It's about winning the battles on the pitch. And there's just not enough going on to interest me. That's just me. And people that love soccer, God bless you. If you enjoy it, good. For me, yeah, just not kind of my thing. Not really. So, And yeah, the Devils lost again. I think I heard that. Was it Carolina that beat them? Carolina. So yeah, the last couple of years, the NHL playoffs in round one has been fantastic. I've even watched some games. For some reason this year, I didn't have any interest. The last couple of years, was it 2 years ago? I think like everything went Game 7 in round one. It was phenomenal. Like everything went Game 7. And this year, it's been, yeah, maybe it's because I'm not paying attention to it. But well, let me look here. So, no, it wasn't last year. We had a lot of 4-1s and 4-0s. So it must have been 22-23 that, yeah, 4-3, 4-2, 4-2, 4-3, 4-3, 4-2. Yeah, only one series. It was Vegas over Winnipeg, 4-1. Everything else was 4-2 or 4-3. That was a fantastic year. That's the year that Vegas, they beat Florida, 22-23. So that was a really good year for that. The hockey. I just saw the unboxing there. The 07-08 hockey season with the Ovechkin card. Oh my gosh, that card is ridiculous. I need to look at the Phil Esposito card for Boston. I don't know if I could reach that and not knock anything over. Hang on a sec. Can I get it? Oh, I might. Oh, it's right here in the front too. So this is the 70-71 Bruins. And I want to take a look at the Phil Esposito card in relation to the Ovechkin card, which was almost all single digits. All right, so let me see if I can find it. I don't have the overhead camera here, so all right, so there's Orr. So Orr, he's got a lot of doubles on his card here. And Esposito, there he is. Okay, so it's pretty much the Ovechkin card. A lot of 1s and 3s. There's only 3 numbers or 4 numbers outside the scoring range. So there's the Esposito card. All righty. And again, 1s are shots on net, 2s are shots on net, 3s through 7s might be shots on net. So look at all the single digits on that card. I mean, that is nuts. I think the Ovechkin card's a little bit better, but yeah. So it was kind of fun looking at that card. Again, because you look at an APA card and you can't tell if it's, compared to like a strat card or something, but yeah, or a payoff pitch. But yeah, you kind of can a little bit, Let's see who's back in here in the chat room. Joshua coming by. Hi, Joshua. Hello from Vancouver. Good to see you. Are your Canucks in the playoffs? Are they in the playoffs? I'm looking here online. No, Vancouver's not in the playoffs this year. So, yeah. And neither are the Bruins or the Penguins, right? That's pretty bad. Jeff says there's only so much time in a day. APA soccer comes highly recommended, but doesn't fit the schedule. I'd be wondering if someone's coming to Dtocon in May, if they would bring it and I could just watch it play a little bit. I really don't want to go and buy it and be like, oh, geez, it's soccer. I don't really like it. But if I saw somebody play it, maybe it'd be like, yeah, this ain't too bad. Maybe. I don't know. And so World Wars Game is still lamenting that loss. Yeah, that stinks. Frank, having a rough day. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's anytime you lose anybody, whether it's a person or a pet or even a job, sometimes life is just really unfair. And, we know, things are going to happen, but it just doesn't make it any easier when they do. It's a race to the end sometimes. It stinks. I'm sorry about that, Frank. It really does stink. No Bruins or Canucks in the playoffs. Yep. I still need to play that series because I have that in Hockey Bones and APA, and I think even in Shootout. So I have it in a bunch of different games. So I definitely want to play that series over. Actually, what I wanted to do is have the Bruins play the Sharks and see how the Sharks would do, because I'm pretty sure that year the the Sharks gave the Canucks a run. Is that the year I'm thinking about? Yeah, 4-1. So the Sharks took on the Canucks, and the Canucks beat them that year. So it'd be fun to kind of play out that Bruins Sharks series, if you will. And Alan says, I'm with you, Dave. I do like soccer, but playing Apple soccer would be like rolling a 24 in Apple hockey over and over again. Yeah, I mean, I get the idea because the video I saw, the guy was like trying to move the ball forward. So it goes into a zone and you see what team's going to get it, what they're going to do with it. And so you see the progression of like where the ball goes in and then taking a shot on net is probably the excitement of it. So I kind of get that. And maybe it would be fun if I played it. Because I don't like to watch baseball on TV. I just think it's too slow. It takes forever. And it's kind of the same thing with soccer. But I like playing baseball here on the table because it's the one roll for the at-bat, rather than pitch by pitch. I mean, you know what I mean? Every now and then you do have to get another roll for something or other. But it's not like, you're going pitch by pitch by pitch, Although if Action PC and Baseball Mogul allow you to go pitch by pitch. What's fun about the Baseball Mogul? Boy, I haven't played that in a while. That was fun because what I would do is I would just go like the one pitch, and get the at bat. And every now and then somebody would come to the plate and I'd be like, okay, I'm going pitch by pitch mode on this guy. I'm going to try to work the corners. And it was really kind of fun, playing that with the Baseball Mogul. So, and then I would come back out and go pitch by pitch mode. And then you can speed it up an inning, the whole bit. That was fun playing that game there. The one thing I wish you could do in Baseball Mogul, and I know you're the mogul and you're running a team, but as someone who just likes to do replays, okay, and you know what I do? I jump around from team to team and pick a game of the week and the whole bit. I would love to see Baseball Mogul give you the option of just being able to play whatever team you want. Look at the schedule. I'm going to play the A's and the Astros, and you play that game. And then skip ahead and then, in a few days, sim all the games and then play the Red Sox and the Indians. And then, sim a couple of days. And because that's what, Ron kind of does with Action PC, and that's kind of what I do with some of the games, is that play the game I want to play, no matter what two teams it is, sim the rest, and then play the next game I want to play. I'd love to be able to do that in Baseball Mogul, but you are kind of resigned to one team and running the team, which is what it's all about. That's what it is. Kind of probably like OTP and a couple other games. You pick your team and you run the team. Franchise Hockey Manager, the same thing. You run the team. So that's what it's all about. But it is a fun game, and it'd be nice to just kind of let the computer handle everything, and I'm going to play this game right here, and play that out. Because it is a fun game. I do enjoy it. I really do. Oh, let's see here. In the chat room, Craig says, soccer works well with the fast action cards. It's easy to set up. Now, from what I saw with that game, the guy was rolling the dice, and he'd look at the chart, which I enjoy. That's what I like about Appa, is looking at the cards in the chart. And then it would just go to a zone, and then the chart would tell you, I think, who got it, and if he headed it or kicked it or if it went out of bounds, and then so that's what it looked like. So I don't know what the fast action cards would do, but they're only like $5 or $10. They weren't that expensive. So I guess I'd need to see it in action, and so that's what I need to do, Craig. Andrew comes by. Soccer Blast from Play is a fun game. It uses the same engine as Hockey Blast. Again, I'm not a big soccer guy, so maybe it would be. I don't know, because I like the Appa, I just like Appa. I just like how they do it. I do. Frank, I will put up a Cincinnati Stinger pennant. Absolutely, I would. Yep, I like those teams there. I was looking for one. I don't know if I ever got one or not. Have you ever seen one hanging behind me? Because I have a bunch of pennants, and I just get them off of eBay. But some of them, like those, are kind of rare, and I'm like, I haven't found one that I liked. So I don't know if I have one or not. Before you do, let me see if I have one or not. I might have a Stinger. I don't know if I got a Stinger shirt. I know I have a shirt. Maybe it was the shirt I'm thinking of, but let me see if I have one or not. And I can check next time I go over in the pile and I shuffle these up over here. Steeler fan comes by. Good to see you. And Craig says, Andrew, you all right? Dice United is fun as well. I have Dice United, the first one. Okay. So what did I play with that? I got it on a sale, and I think it was the PDF version, and I just played a game, and it was okay. I think I played it right. I got really confused in the time at the end because I don't know anything about soccer timing. It was okay. I think it was a 1-0 game, whoever I played. It was okay. I never went back to it, but it was just okay. So I'm wondering if the app, if the fast action cards would help figure out who had the ball or how the cards work on that. It might be kind of fun to see the progression of the play, to see, if they can get a shot on net, if it goes. I mean, maybe it would be all right. Maybe it'd be all right. Okay. So Clay's here in the chat room, and he says Baseball Mogul now has replay mode. Ooh, to focus on a season replay, and you can pick any game on the schedule to play in play-by-play mode. Interesting. So he says you don't have to stick to the team you picked when you started the new game. Now, is that in the newest release? Because the one I have is not the newest one. I have, where am I? Oh, I have 23. I got football and baseball 23. That's the newest ones I have. So I haven't upgraded to the newest ones yet. And you'll have it at D2D and can talk about it. Nice. So is it in the to 20? So what do you have now? Do you have 24 or 25 out now? I forget what you have out now for baseball and football. But if it's in the new one, I might have to check that out because I do like the mechanics of that game, and I like the little animations that you got in the whole bit. It's really a fun game. I really like that. But again, I don't like to play the one team too much. I know I'm doing that with the payoff pitch 76 Sox, but for the most part, I kind of like, okay, so 2025 is the one. Okay, so I'll have to check out that and see if we can do the replay mode, because I love bouncing around and doing different things. I really do. I just like to play the games. Like I said, I'm not really big into the handling all the stuff behind the scenes. I don't know about that. Even when I play Franchise Hockey Manager, I just let the computer do it. I like to pick my guys and set up my lines, but a lot of the other stuff, I let the computer do it because it's just, just deal. Some of it's just, I don't know. It's all right sometimes, but it's not. It's like I say, you got to like that thing, handling the franchise stuff. What was the soccer game that Ron had? I forget remember the soccer game Ron had? He dealt with all that stuff there, and he threw a fit playing it because he was all frustrated. Yeah, I just like to kind of watch the games play out and manage that particular game and not have to worry about anything else. I like to make trades too whenever I want. I like the sandbox mode. Franchise Hockey Manager, I don't know if I talked about that. They just released an update that put the International Hockey League in the game. And that was like the mid-90s. The International Hockey League. And it was from, that actually went back to 1945, if you will. Yeah, they had the Chicago Wolves, Milwaukee Adams. A lot of these teams ended up in the AHL, if you will. And it looks like 2001 was their last season. The Orlando Solar Bears, Cincinnati Cyclones, Cleveland Lumberjacks, Houston Aeros were in there, Kansas City Blades. Yep, so I remember them in like the 94, 95. Peoria Rivermen, Indianapolis Ice, Las Vegas Thunder. I got a Thunder shirt and a pennant, by the way. San Diego Gulls. I had a San Diego Gulls hat. Kansas City Blades, I already talked about. Fort Wayne Comets. I used to listen to Fort Wayne on the radio. I could pick up the Fort Wayne games on the radio. Don't ask me why, but they had a super strong station. So, yeah, so that's the mid-90s. So you can now play that. I'm not sure how far that back. It says it goes back to the 40s, or even maybe before that. But I'm interested to see how far back it goes for franchise hockey manager. And Scott says he's going to a Chicago Wolves game tomorrow night, AHL playoffs. Yeah, the AHL kind of left us. We had AHL here. We had fun. We had a lot of teams. We had Worcester, where I had season tickets to. Springfield still had a team. Hartford, Providence, Manchester, New Hampshire, Portland, Maine. They were American Hockey League teams, and we went to all of them. We went to all those buildings, so you could drive to them. We even went out to Albany one time to see the River Rats and the Adirondack Red Wings we saw, and we thought about going out to either Rochester or Binghamton at some point. We never did, but we talked about it. But there's all these places within driving distance, and now they're all East Coast teams, and they're better hockey players than me, but it's really tough to go and drop some money down for East Coast hockey. It was really kind of tough. Sorry, compared to AHL, it just kind of was. Let's see, Craig says, the fast action cards eliminate dice rolls and looking at charts. Roll dice for player action like shots and player movement. Oh, well, maybe it would work pretty well then. I got to see if there's a video on YouTube of someone using the fast action cards. I haven't seen one yet. And like I say, I hate to go and, drop a whole bunch of money on a soccer game in a season if it's just not going to be my thing, Steeler fan said, I watched the Arrows win the Turner Cup in the IHL. Went to every home playoff game that year. All 4 series, went 7 games. Fantastic. What year was that? I'm on a page right now that has a bunch of the standings. It's not really showing me playoffs. Oh, here are the champions. No, 99. Was it Houston, you said? 99, Houston won it. And, yeah, that's the one time it looks like the Atlanta Knights. I remember the Atlanta Knights. They won it as well. Utah Grizzlies, Denver Grizzlies. Goes all the way back to 1930. You know who the winners were of the IHL in 1930? The Cleveland Indians were your champions in 1930 of the IHL. Yep. Then it was the Windsor Bulldogs and the Buffalo Bisons. The London Tecumsehs. How about that, huh? The London Tecumsehs. Windsor Spitfires, Toledo Mercuries. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of fun teams here. St. Paul Saints. Cincinnati Mohawks. Oh, the Toledo Gold Diggers. That was an interesting team, too. The Gold Diggers. Not the Gold Diggers. The Gold Diggers. The Flint Generals. They won it as well, so good for Flint. Peoria Rivermen. Yeah, some fun teams here. Some fun times. I remember that there. I don't know anybody on the team. Oh, there was a handful of people I knew on the team. There used to be some guys that just couldn't crack the NHL, but didn't want to play in the AHL, so that's why they went to the IHL. And there was a few guys that played in the IHL that you would know. And let's see here. Yes, 1999. Okay, yep. And Cleveland won something. Yes, Cleveland won. The Cleveland Indians. Yep, not lying. I scroll all the way down here on this page. In 1930, the Cleveland Indians were the champions of the IHL. I don't have standings or stats on that league, though. I can only go back so far, at least on this page. Or can I? Oh, no, 29-30. Yeah. Oh, we had the Cleveland Indians. They played 42 games. They were 24-9-9. They were the champion. And there was the Buffalo Bisons, London Panthers, Detroit Olympics, Windsor Bulldogs, Hamilton Tigers, Toronto Falcons, and the Niagara Falls Cataracts. They were 7-7. The Cataracts, 7-7-28. So those are your Golden Seals. And now, where's P-Jet when you need it? He probably knows half this team here. Oh, the Niagara Falls Cataracts, 7-7-28. Fun times. Bring back the boardwalk bullies. I remember them. I think I had a shirt for the bullies one time. Oh, I had the L.A. Ice Dogs. Somebody got me an L.A. Ice Dogs jersey. I don't even know where it is. I can't find it. That jersey was awesome. Or did I give him the jersey? No, I think I gave him the jersey. And he got me a helmet that I wore, but I gave him the jersey. Frank comes by. Hi, Frank. Hopefully you're doing okay tonight. Again, I was playing on the computer tonight. I didn't get a chance to get any more games on the table. I've been really enjoying the payoff pitch in the Appa baseball. Now I got my dog barking here. The one dog left, she still barks. I don't know what she sees. She can't get up in the window like the other dog, but she must hear something. So I was playing Skyrim and Oblivion tonight. The Oblivion was gorgeous. It was brand new. So shiny and new. And you know what's funny is they redid all the sounds as well as all the graphics. And they got dogs barking in the background. And for the life of me, when I was watching people play today, I thought I heard dogs outside. It's like, no, it was in the game. They just very faint in the background. It's kind of neat. They did all the sound effects over it. They did a really good job with it. Really good job with it. I still like Skyrim better, though. Just my thing. But so I gotta see if there's anybody local coming to Connecticut that might bring the Appa soccer. I'd like to check it out before I go and get it. Just in case it's something that because the thing is that I got the Appa golf. I need to do that too because I do like Appa golf. I think I had a hard time with it, but now that I played a lot of Appa and I'm kind of into the Appa mode, I think I might be able to get a little bit better with that golf. There was a lot going on with that, but I think I could be a little bit better with it this time. Steeler fans been playing a lot of the EA Sports College Football 25. Oh yeah, they come out with new football game besides Madden, right? And the new college game because they got the rights to do that now or whatever kind of lawsuits they've figured out. Yeah, I remember 2014 was the last college game they did because of rights or names or people's likeness. I don't know what it was. Frank says, I started playing Appa baseball in 1978, and I have loads of original seasons from 76 to 02. I remember G-Tops and Appa for $1 a piece, and a whole season sets were 10. That's pretty wild, huh? I like the new cards. I do. I have old and I have new, and I vastly prefer the new cards compared to the old. Not only because I can play the advanced modes, but I just like they're brighter, the print's better. It's got the team name on there and the city and the year, a couple of stats. It just works better for me. The old cards, when there was a certain charm to them, but when you couldn't figure out what year and what team, that made it difficult for guys like me. It just did. And you were 15 in 78 and got the game December 78 with a whole year of cards for $14.95. We're pretty close to the same age. You're just a shade older than me. So I like I say, I'm going to tell my story and play Dtocon. I don't remember any of these games. Don't remember seeing them because I probably would have played them. And I would have scraped up some money to get cards if they were $15. I could have scraped that up because we were paying in 1977, 78, whenever it was. We were paying $30 for a video game. Now in 78 money, that's probably like $70 or $80 that us kids were coming up with. It was like, how do we do that? I don't remember, but we did. And these games are stupid. They didn't do much. I mean, there was no technology to do it with, but still, it's like you look back, like, man, did I really spend all that money on that? Yeah, that's what we did. So you turned 51 on Sunday. Well, Saturday was my birthday. I'm not that young, sadly. Sadly, I'm getting pretty old. And my brother stopped by on Easter, just out of the blue, stopped by in the morning, and he sits on the couch. He goes, I used to be able, in a day like today, I used to be able to go out in the yard and work on the truck and work on the yard and work on the shed and do all this stuff here. And he goes, I just went outside and did something to my truck. I don't know, put something on it. Whatever he's doing. He was working on an older truck. He put some like mud flaps or something like that on. He goes, I was out there for an hour. He goes, and I'm done. He goes, I'm done. I'm tired. He goes, I can't do anymore. And we kind of laughed. And it's like, yeah. I says, we were talking about that the other day, how, I used to be able to go out in the yard, cut the grass and weed whack and then walk the dog and then come back and do something else and clean the car. And it'd be like all day, And now I go out and I do one thing and it's like, all right, I'm tired. That's it. That's it for me. That's all I can do. I'm not in my 30s anymore. I'm not even in my 40s anymore. I'm getting up towards 60 now. So the days of, going out and getting crazy stuff done out in the yard, because the wife's like, oh, why didn't you do that? And why'd you do that? It's like, because I'm tired. I'm not young anymore. I did it for, we've been here a long time. It says the last 20 or 25 years, I've done all this stuff and not even thought twice about it. And now, Frank says he's 62 now, gets twice as tired with half the work. Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do. And you don't think about it till you get there. You see people, it's like, oh man, what's going on? And then now all of a sudden, oh man, I'm tired. I haven't even played hockey in 6 or 7 months. I'm gonna try to play Saturday, but I might be done. And something, I never wanted to stop playing hockey, but I'm kind of okay with that. I can still referee and I can still run it in the whole bit, but I'm like, I'm not all broken up if I don't play it again. I got the, I want to play one game when I'm 58, so I can say I played till 58. But the body just can't do it, And maybe if I lost a bunch of weight, which, I don't see that happening. It's just not happening. But, maybe that would help a little bit. But yeah, it's just, I did do an hour on the treadmill the other day. I was pretty happy with. I mean, I wasn't running, but I get on there and I just take my phone, I put it in front of me, and I was watching YouTube videos and, the whole bit, and it was fun. And I just. You start watching these videos, and next thing you know, oh, jeebus, I've been going 55 minutes. I might as well just go the hour, Frank says he worries about the younger people under 40 are basically through with cards and dice games. I fear that all the game companies will cease printed cards in 5 years. I don't know. Because here's the deal, Frank. One of the things we talked on the show today, Digital Today's podcast, and I asked Ron, I says, back in the day, there was Status Pro, Apper, and Strat that I have been told. Okay, I don't know for sure. There's probably more. But when you think about games that are 40 or 50 years old, those are the ones that come to mind. Okay, those are the three, grandfather games, if you will. And I says, Bernie, who was in the chat earlier, he put a list together of almost 100 games, almost 100 cards and dice baseball games in one way or another. And so I asked Ron, I says, how did it go from 3 to 100? Where along the line did these 97 games come into play and counting? And he says, once, the internet get up and you could get the stuff freely, and you didn't have to get down to the library and look around. He goes, that's when he feels, so probably, 30 years ago, mid-90s, is when you could really get on the internet and look around. And then, obviously in the 2000s you could. But interesting question is like, when did all this happen? Where did these 97 games come from? And I know there was a few more than those three. Just relax. But, there was not 97 or 100 cards and dice baseball games like there are now. So as far as it coming to an end, I don't know. There's more games now than there ever was. And, you made it through the whole, computer thing. I mean, I didn't play games. I was a video game guy for 40 years, and now I'm playing it. And so I got to imagine there's more people like me that are like, man, I don't want to do the video game thing anymore. And I want to play, Tony Esposito and Phil Esposito. I want to play, Steve Grogan. I want to play Ken Stabler. I want to play, Eddie Jockerman. And you can't do that with video games, but you can with cards and dice or sports sim games, if you will. I like playing all those old teams, the Freddie Lynns and stuff like that. Freddie Lynn was 5 for 5 the other night on my tabletop. That was awesome. That was awesome. Rico Petrocelli hit the sacrifice fly to win it for me after Carlton Fisk tripled in the 11th. That was so fun. And you can't play those guys in video games. So while I agree, you don't see the younger guys playing it. It looks kind of bleak. But at the same time, there's 100 baseball games, and people are still creating games. They're still creating them. And so I don't think you'd be creating them for a dying industry. Again, these people aren't getting rich by any means. But, the conventions get pretty busy. There's still a lot of people playing them, talking about it. And that was the other thing we talked about is, when we talked about explaining our gaming passion was the topic of the show today. Back in the day without the internet and without TV, how did these people even market their games? How did you know about Apple and Strat? Magazine ads maybe? And then you played it, and how did you know if the guy down the street was playing or not? You didn't. But somehow it worked, and you found these conventions, and you did it in the whole bit. Now look, now you get we're setting up conventions all over the country to go and meet people and hang out. So I think that's how it grows. Is, well, where you going? No, I'm going to this thing. Doesn't mean you have to bring a teenager with you. But I mean, guys like Marco, what's he in the third? He's in his 30s, and he's playing it and loving it. It's I don't think it's going to die because we get so many games coming out and there's so many different things, and I think it's going to appeal to different people. Some people don't like the strat and the charts, so maybe they play payoff pitch. Some people don't like something about this game. Well, maybe they're going to play this game here, season ticket baseball, something like that. There's all these games coming out, and that's something we'll bring that up at the conference because we're going to have a lot of developers there. I'm going to be like, so what are your thoughts on this? It's like, you're making games, and you're making seasons. Do you think there's a future here? Or is it going to be off the cliff in 5 years? That's something we'll have to talk to them about. Brian comes by. Good evening, he says. Chat, people, And yet, Sean says at 52, the tiredness comes in. Yeah, it's kind of weird how that happens. It's just really weird. And Scott says, I'm going to have to stop mowing the lawn at 63. Yep. Alan says at 68, forget doing yard work. He has trouble writing out a check sometimes. Yeah, I hear you. Robert comes by. Hi, Robert. Good to see you. I'm playing hockey next week in Lake Placid with members of the 1980 team. Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I went to Lake Placid with my wife and her parents. We actually went to Vermont. We went to Burlington, Vermont to see a friend of mine many, many years ago. And we took the ferry over, and they wanted to go to Lake Placid because I guess they went to Lake Placid on their honeymoon. I'm talking about my in-laws. And we went around the village, and we went into the hockey rink that they were playing. I didn't play, but, I mean, we looked around at the place. It was kind of neat, going there. But so that's great that you're still playing, and you're still going to play with some of those guys there. That could be kind of fun. I haven't played ice hockey in years. I just do the roller hockey now. It's a lot safer for me. I still, when I referee ice hockey, I still get hit with that damn puck, and that still hurts. Even when it's old guys, and it's like, oh, I hate it. They drive it up the boards. It goes by my head. It's like, come on. Oh, man. And, now, Frank, it does feel like that. Yep, it does feel like that sometimes. Josh says, just keep moving one way or the other. Read the book Younger next year. I know. That's the other thing I don't do. I don't read a lot of books. I just don't have the time. I don't even watch a lot of movies. I don't have the time. I really just, when I get a chance, we have dinner, we watch a little bit of TV so we can spend some time together if we don't go out to eat. And then she just likes to sit around and watch TV. And I come down here and I'd rather play a game. I just don't like to watch, even like game. I don't even like to watch, I'll watch playoff games and stuff, but I didn't watch a full hockey game this year, a full baseball game. Maybe football. Maybe there was a Sunday I was exhausted. I just sat on the couch and just watched and fell asleep. But I don't have the hour and a half or 2 hours or 3 hours anymore to sit and watch that stuff or the attention span. We'll sit and, hey, you want to watch this movie? How long is it? Oh, it's an hour and 45 minutes. No. Find a short movie. Is there like a 55-minute movie? Then I'd watch. We saw, what we do is we watch we've been watching a lot of Netflix series, like original series where the episodes are between, 30 and 50 minutes long. And that's perfect. So you can watch one, maybe you watch two, and then you're done. But you can just watch one and be done, and you're not tied there for, an hour and a half, 2 hours. Unless it's really good and you're really into the series. So, and Frank says his top 4 games: Strat, Payoff Pitch, Field Day, and Glory Days boxing. And he has to play one game at least once a month to stay sharp. Yeah, I found that I got away from APA Master Game and I'm lost. I got to go back and learn that. Even Payoff Pitch, I got to keep the directions with me. When I play 3 or 4 games in a row and I'm in the groove, it's like, oh, I'm good. Same with Solitaire Pro Football. I did like Solitaire Pro Football, but I was playing it all the time. And so I had like the back of my head, I knew what was going on. And then I don't play it for a few weeks or a few months, and then it's like, oh boy, how do you play this again? I know most of it, but there's always little intricacies that you got to figure out. Yeah, I'm the same way. I wish I could find someone near me to share some of the games. I can't find anybody. There was a guy one time. APA sends out their emails, and it tells you the new customers. And there was a guy in the next town over. Literally, I was like, I'd never seen anybody that close to me. And I tried to reach out to the guy. And I got on Facebook and I found his name. I don't know if it was the same guy. And I sent him a message. It's like, are you by chance playing, APA? And he never got back. Either he never got it or he ignored it or it wasn't him. But yeah, there was a guy in the next town over. It's like, that is as close as I've ever seen. There's not too many people up my way that do this. And it'd be fun to go do because I don't have anybody that wants to play this. The only guy that would play it, my one buddy, he has played some stuff with me, but he's not a sports guy at all. So he just does it just for the sake of hanging out. So, which is fine, but still not like, it's not like, hey, I'm going to go home. He's like, oh, I'm going to go home and play this. It's like he'll come over, play with me, and then that's it. He's a video game guy is what he is. But yeah, no, I hear you as far as finding something. Back in the chat room here. Let's see what we got. Clay says, just enjoyed the 8-episode Netflix special where they fought around the 24 Red Sox. Wasn't it? I saw that too. That was good. The Red Sox won there. That was fun. What else? We watched something. I don't know what the heck the name of it was. It had Liev Schreiber in it, and who was Tom Cruise? Who was in Eyes Wide Shut? Nicole Kidman. She was in it, and it was about these people in Massachusetts on down on the Cape Cod there, the rich part of Massachusetts, and somebody got killed, and so the cops are showing up, and they were trying to find. She drowned. There was a big wedding happening, and one of the guests drowned on Nantucket or whatever it was. And it was a whole series. It was like 6 episodes. They were like half hour, 40 minutes, and it was about the cops trying to find out who killed it. But again, these are very rich people that reminded the cops that they funded their police department, and so they were like, be careful what you say and what you do, and so it was almost like a Clue. It was kind of like a game of Clue, like who done it, So that was kind of fun. And then we watched one. There was one we saw that was like Clue. It was about one of the head butler. That's not the right word. Head person in charge of things at the White House was killed, and they were having this big ceremony at a dinner at the White House, and the head guy that got the butlers and the cooks and the chefs and everything going, he got killed. And so they brought in a detective, and it turned into Clue. because it was like, was it the people? Was it one of the guests? Was it the chef who didn't like him? Was it the woman who was trying to get his position because he wouldn't retire that she killed him? Was it this other guy that didn't like him? Was it somebody over here? It was a fun. It was basically Clue, like the movie Clue. It really was. And how it ended, I didn't really like how it ended, but it was we watched that. That was kind of fun. So every now and then you find something kind of on Netflix. This is kind of goofy to watch. Fenner comes by. Thanks for coming by, Fenner. Frank says he met a guy at a coffee shop and he liked Stratomatic and couldn't even play basic Strat. Well, that's that. Ron McGrath comes by. Hi, Ron. Yeah, Clay, I think you're right. The perfect couple. That was it. Yeah. Yeah, the people that were getting married and the maid of honor was killed, and then they tried to piece together what happened with it all and why somebody want to kill her. And they went through like different scenarios, like this is why you would want to kill her, and then this is why you would want to kill her. It was okay. I mean, it was like sitting there eating dinner type thing. It was pretty good. And we just watched another one. It was about UFOs. It was like the UFO files, and it was set in 1980 Poland. And this is something my wife would never watch. And I'm like, I like the sci-fi stuff a little bit. But I'm like, why would she want to watch this? And it was all English dubbed. And it was about some farmer in rural Poland that saw frog people. And a spaceship come down and dropped off frog people. And so there was one guy on the 1980 news, and that was like a sci-fi guy in Poland, and he wanted to make this the Polish Roswell, is what he called it. And he was going to be famous because he found the guy that saw the aliens, and it was just, it never really went anywhere. It was hard to follow, but it was neat because it was set in the 80s, but Poland wasn't like 80s America. It was more like early 70s America. So they had all the old equipment and the cameras and the microphones and the whole bit. But the one thing that sticks out from that show is everybody smoked. Everybody smoked. The guy that was the star of the show, who was on the TV in this thing, he like smoked right up till he went on the stage and put it down. Then every time he had breakfast, he'd be smoking and eating eggs. It's like, oh my gosh, all he did is smoke. He's in bed, he smokes. He's in the shower, he smokes. He's in the car, he smokes. He must have smoked 500 cigarettes during this show. It was really weird. We watched it because there was nothing else to watch. It's like, I wouldn't watch it again. It was pretty bad, but I remember turning to her and saying, is he smoking again? All he does is smoke. Like, everybody smoked. Everybody smoked. Does anybody play Glory Days boxing? It flows so well, easy to play and very accurate. I heard good things about it. For myself, I just don't like boxing at all. At all. I don't care if it's the best boxing game in the world. I don't care if it was free. I don't care if, I don't like it. I know Al used to play it, and I can't stand it. I just don't like it. I'm just not a boxing guy. I don't even really like fights in hockey, to tell you the truth. It's not my thing, so not my type of sport, Probably not gonna get Skyrim on the channel, Sean. You might get some Skyrim. Okay, because that runs pretty smooth on my computer. I did download the new Oblivion. Care to guess on the size of the new Oblivion remaster? I did buy it today. I found a coupon code, so I got like $8 or $9 off. I was like, oh, I'll get it now. And I did play it tonight. I played it for 3 hours tonight. It is gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous, and it plays similar to the original Oblivion, but a little bit better in ways, I think. Everything is just better. The menus are clearer. The faces are clearer. The textures are, oh my gosh, it's a brand new game. I mean, if they didn't call it Oblivion, they called it something else, it'd be like, wow, this game's awesome. But that takes so much power from my computer. A lot of people said they're having a hard time streaming Oblivion because it's just, the computer's pushing it, just trying to run the game, so I couldn't run any streaming on top of that. So you won't see any Oblivion. You might see some Skyrim because it's a little bit easier on the computer, but it is boring to watch because I play it so slow. I just walk around and then eventually, kill a crab or something, And it's hard for me to make it entertaining, so I don't. Is what If I had it on the console, I might, because it might be a little bit easier on the console. But so I did get it. No, it wasn't 300 gigabytes. It was about a little less than half that. But yeah, still. The if you want to buy the original Oblivion, you can buy that and the original one. I think it's like 4 or 5 gigs. This one was 128 gigs. It took me 3.5 hours to download it today. I just let it run because I was editing the show while I was running in the background. And Frank says, I've gotten hooked on payoff pitch and field day baseball on recommendations from the great Kurt Berglund. But I fear I've reached my gameage due to dwindling time and years. He's also high in Pine Tar Baseball. I like Pine Tar Baseball, but I've already told you my issues with that game. It's not the game itself. It's just they don't have enough seasons, and the cards are just complete full color, and I'm not going to blow out my printer printing that. And I don't know if they have printed sets. I think it's all PDF. But the Pine Tar game is super fun. I have one season, and I just printed out a couple teams, and I had a lot of fun with it. Very, very fun to play. Very simple to play. And payoff pitches is fun, too. I do like the payoff pitch. I just like it has all the cards. And the printed cards are pretty inexpensive and just makes it easy to play. It really is. It's still sometimes I screw it up. There's some things I just forget to check. But there's, I like APA, payoff pitch, season ticket baseball, and I do like Strat. I like Strat Basic. Strat Advanced Basic. Strat Advanced is okay, but I do enjoy the Basic. Just like the APA Basic, I do enjoy that. Have I heard of the PC game RimWorld? I don't think so. No, I don't think I have heard of that one. Yeah, you'd be okay with watching me wander around, but it is. I was watching people play today. Well, like I said, I was at the gym today, and I was walking on the treadmill, and I was watching people play it. And then even when I went on my walk, I come home after dinner. I've been trying to get in an extra walk every day, and I just had it on. I was listening to people play it. It is tough to watch. It's tough to watch. We should get a discount code for payoff pitcher Strat. Oh, Black Friday. Well, Strat's always having sales, by the way. Strat's always having sales. Problem is the Strat, they just don't have anything in stock. If you want a newer season, that's fine. But if you want to get something from the 70s or the 80s, good luck in any sport. But payoff pitch Black Friday, I think Joe usually has 10% off. So that's when I usually grab a couple of seasons because I think the seasons are what, $44, $45 for something in the 70s. So you knock that off. It comes down just under $40. So I'll grab a couple. That's what I do. I usually wait and I'll grab them there. And Steeler fan says he likes that boxing game. He's not much of a fight fan, but it's good. Yeah, because I heard it's a lot like the Stone Cold hockey, so it kind of flows similar to that. Maybe it would be fun if I saw somebody play it. I might be like, oh, that'd be kind of interesting. But again, I just don't. I've never watched boxing. My dad once in a while would have it on, like the Worldwide Sports, ABC's Worldwide Sports there. And he, because they'd have different things on, and every now and then boxing would be on. I'm going outside. Call me when hockey's on. So anyway, so just wanted to catch up with you guys on this. Let me just kind of recap what I talked about tonight. So my vacation's over. So you won't see me on quite as much because my vacation is over. So I'm back. I'm back to the attack, trying to get people to show up and play hockey again. Fun times. And then I'm still playing in the Digital Dtocon with Mike, which has been taking up a lot of time as we get closer to it. So I'm kind of hoping it goes smooth from here. But there's been a lot of, going over lists and checking with people and the whole bit. Just want to make it go nice smooth. Again, so I'll be offline playing my Skyrim and Oblivion. Sorry. I just will because I just enjoy it. I don't think you guys want to see that. Again, new show dropped today. So if you want to check that out, Digital Dice Drop today. Again, Dtocon's coming up next month. We are committed to it, so if you're in, you're in. Unfortunately, we can't refund any money right now because we need to pay for the room. We are committed to the room, so that's what we have to do. Looking forward to some of the guests that are showing up. That should be fun. I got Play coming up. If you're going to Play.con in Colorado in June, let me know. I'm kind of hoping I can find someone that I can either get a ride with that has a car that could get me, again, from the airport to the hotel. I am pretty anxious about that. I'm not going to lie. I'm very anxious about getting to the hotel and getting back to the airport. It's just travel anxiety is a real thing with me, especially with flights. I have nightmares that I missed my flight because I didn't get to the airport on time, and I just don't want to be that guy. So, I suppose I could take an Uber or whatever. I haven't taken an Uber in 10 years. The last time we went to Boston, we were taking them at PAX East, at one of the last PAX East. And it's probably been about 10 years since I went to one of those. And then what game should I bring to Dtocon in Connecticut? Again, I have my truck. I can load it up with games so we can play something if you guys want. There's something in particular that you want to see that I have that I can show you. Then we can do that. I know we're raffling off a lot of games. I know a lot of the games that I'm bringing that are PDF. Well, we have some pretty good PDF game giveaways. We really do. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And Appa Soccer. If anybody's coming to Dtocon, maybe bring Appa Soccer. Maybe if I saw it in action, it would click with me. Because they do have a season where the New England Revolution won the MLS. I don't know anybody on the team, but, to play the local team as champions, that's something I would consider. So I might pick up that season and play the Revolution, I guess. I don't know what else they have for seasons with that as far as like any of the, I guess I don't know anybody. I know there's a guy, Schumacher, who used to play with Germany years ago. It's the only guy I know is Schumacher. And Pele and Messi. That's the only guys I know. But it might be kind of fun if it flowed pretty well and I got it working, whether it's with the dice or the cards. What do I do for work, Frank? I'm involved in hockey leagues. I run leagues. I referee. I scorekeep. Do play-by-play. So I'm at a rink just about every day, one way or another, is what I do. But like I say, hockey season like ended in April. At least most of my leagues did. But now the big stuff. So now I just got little stuff through the summer till September. Still keeps me plenty busy. At least keeps me plenty busy, But anyway, consider another channel for Skyrim and stuff. I know Barbara would watch. She used to watch me play the video games. Maybe the Skyrim. I gotta see. The Oblivion's not going to work because it's just taking too much processing power. But it is beautiful. If there's a way that I could do it, I would do it, but I don't think I can. The Skyrim might be a possibility. Who do I like to win the cup this year? I have no idea. I'm sorry, Frank. I haven't really watched. Again, I don't watch the modern sports. I can't watch hockey because of the ads on the boards. When the guy's skating this way and a car goes the other way on the boards, I can't watch that. I just can't watch it. Baseball takes too long. And football I can sometimes watch, but again, I don't know many of I know Mahomes, and that's about it. Once Brady retired, I kind of lost interest in football. So, Barbara, wait, whoa. What is going on? Skyrim? Really? Wow. If you liked Assassin's Creed, it's very similar to Assassin's Creed. I think Assassin's Creed was, I don't want to say it was better than Skyrim. It just was different. And I enjoyed climbing on the pyramids in Assassin's Creed. I really did that. I like the fact that what's good about Assassin's Creed, you just climbed everywhere. Skyrim, you couldn't do that. So Assassin's Creed, if you got in trouble, you just climbed. You just get out of the way. And the idea of getting up in the buildings and overlooking the city and mapping things out was really good, and having the eagle or whatever it was fly around with you. So Assassin's Creed was very different than Skyrim. I enjoyed it immensely. I really did. Scott says, Rooney and David Beckham. Yeah. Okay, I've heard of them. But yeah, Frank, sorry. I haven't watched any hockey this year. The Bruins, I knew they were going to stink when they had goalie problems at the beginning of the year, and they did, and then they traded everybody. So I might watch a little bit of Florida to see how Marchand does. And I always like to root for Toronto. I don't know why. I just like to root for Toronto. Rooney and Beckman are fun to watch on the pitch. Baseball's not that long anymore. Well, maybe I'll give it a try. Well, I know they shaved a little bit of time off, but it's, And shame on you. I know. Frank says it's annoying. An annoying thing watching a hockey game last night. They put name tag on whoever has the puck. Yeah, see, I mean, some of that stuff is fun, and some of that stuff is not. Like in football, when they put like the field goal line, that I like that because it's like, okay, this is where we have to go to kick a field goal, or the first down markers or something like that. I mean, that's good stuff. Even the Fox puck back in the day was not horrible. You could follow the puck when it went against the boards. It wasn't terrible. Some people thought it was. I didn't think it was that bad, actually. But yeah, when they start doing all that other crazy stuff, it's like, let me just watch the game. Let me just watch the game. And let's see here. Half-Life 2 I never played. I think I have it on Steam. I never played it. Portal was fun. Portal was really fun. Portal 2 was fun, too. I played that with somebody. Like one afternoon we played half, and the next day we played the next half, and we beat it. That was fun. Portal was fun. Dizzying, a little dizzying, because you had to think, but it was fun. Did you ever play the Talos Principle? I played that on the PS4. And it was very similar to Portal, very similar. And I beat it. And not many people, my friend circle beat it. And they're like, how the hell did you ever beat that game? It's like, it just clicked. That game clicked with me, and I enjoyed it. And it was fun. They had the Talos Principle 2. That's what I should check out on that site there to see if they had the Talos Principle 2 on sale. Oh, they do. Talos Principle 2, but it's not on sale. That's kind of a bummer. Because I would pick that up if they had it on some kind of a sale, but they don't. But Talos Principle was one that you needed to. You had these little lasers, and you would shoot it into this little eye, and it would shut off laser beams, if you will, that were like blocking the way. And so you used to like go through and then, zip and shoot out the next laser beam. And so you had these little stands, almost like a little tripod that would shoot this laser to shut off the eye. But it always felt like you needed one more because you had to close like 5 or 6 gates, and you had one less of these things. Like, man, so you need to like set it up so you can go take this one and bring it through and then use it again and then turn off this so you could go get that one. It was a deduction game, but it was really fun. I enjoyed the Talos Principle, and I haven't played the second one yet, but I will. Yeah, thanks for coming by, Frank. I'm going to probably be hitting the sack myself. I'm going to go upstairs and chill out for a few minutes. Tempted to play more Skyrim, but then I know I'd be up all night, and I do need to get back to work. And Talos Principle games are good. Yeah, there's a new one. There's a second one. Yep. Yeah. Oh, Barbara likes the Talos Principle, too. Yeah, that was pretty good. I just have the PC. I thought about that Steam Deck so I could, like, sit upstairs and play, like, Skyrim or, whatever I could play on that while watching TV with a wife, so I wouldn't have to be down here, but that's a lot. Talos Principle Reawakened. Okay, that I didn't know about, but I know they had a second one that they come out with, so. But anyway. All right, well, that's going to wrap things up here. I need to go put Phil back up on the wall over there. so we get that going. So thanks for coming by tonight. And again, hope you enjoyed this here. And let me see. I think I'm back to work tomorrow, but it's not going to be a crazy day. Thursday and Friday, it's going to be the crazy day. So we'll see how it goes. See what I can get here on the channel. I wanted to get some Apple football here in the channel or something, another Apple hockey game, but it just never worked out. Thanks to Skyrim and Oblivion. So, all right, we'll talk to everybody later. Thanks for coming by, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.